Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I've racked up about $156,000 in business debt, and I've kind of been contemplating bankruptcy, and I didn't know if maybe you thought I should or maybe had other advice or options.
Wow. I'm sorry. It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you married?
No.
Okay. How old are you?
25.
Okay. And what do you owe the business debt on? What kind of debt is this? Credit cards or vendors? Or
so about $30,500 is vendors. $55,000 is I was dumb and took out a merchant cash advance. And then I owe my parents like $65,000.
Okay.
And then another vendor, $7,250.
$7,250.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And what kind of business is this, or was it?
I sell cabinets and countertops.
Okay. All right. And so a merchant advance on what?
Yeah. So my future revenue. Basically, I gave them my bank statements, and then they said, "We'll give you this much," and it was like a daily payment. And then last year in 2024, I had a very slow time, and it pretty much just took me for everything I had.
Yeah, that one got you. It's a payday lender of your world, yeah. Because the interest rates also ridiculous, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so what method do they have access to your current checking account? Is that how they clean you out ever so often?
They were. I've since put stop payments on them, and I was working with am technically still working with a consolidation agency, but that cost is like $1,200 a week, which I can kind of do, but it's hard to manage that. And every time I miss a payment, they're threatening to cancel the program, and it's non-refundable, and it's still another $28,000 I have to pay into it before they'll negotiate with them. And
yeah, I think you stopped that immediately too. You jumped from the frying pan into the fire, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I panicked, and
yeah.
I did all that before I'd kind of talked to anyone about it. Now, pretty much my whole family knows, and I've been a little more open lately, so I've been getting some more advice.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you didn't have this mess, did you do all this because you weren't making money?
No, I was doing pretty well, and then I took a pretty sizable loss on a job, and I also got a little full of myself after a really good 4-month stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell behind on my bookkeeping, which, looking back, that was kind of the debt. That was my detriment to it all.
You did a really good job in 2 sentences describing what happened, because that's exactly what happened. I can smell it. You're really on top of that. That's very well done. You weren't doing your books. One job you got out too far over your skis on, and they set you up for a fall, and you were feeling invincible. Those 3 things together put you here. I believe you. That's well done. Congratulations. Most people aren't that self-aware when they're in this much pain. Well done. Proud of you. We work with entrepreneurs and have for years. I've been bankrupt when I was your age, so I know exactly how it feels to be where you are. So the way we fix this is we take the things that are working and we apply them in a forced rank order of importance. Bankruptcy is not going to solve it, because you can't bankrupt mom and dad. You can legally, but you're not going to. Right. You're going to pay them.
No.
So half of this almost is one thing, and it's them. Okay?
Yes.
So the rest of it is $90,000 worth of stuff. How quick can we make that? Now, let's pretend that you were just operating properly. You weren't out over your skis. You weren't taking jobs that could take you down. You weren't and you weren't borrowing any money. What can you make in this business? What kind of profit in a year can you make if you just started fresh?
So last year I did about $400,000 of revenue,
Right.
and I have my margins are right around 31%.
Okay, so you can make $100,000 a year, and you have a $90,000
Yes, sir.
problem.
Yes,
Because mom and dad aren't pressuring you.
no, but
Okay, you want to pay them, but they can be at the end of the list, and that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now here's an idea.
Nice as well.
What vendors do you have to pay to keep supplies coming to keep the business open? What dollar amount does that represent?
Pretty much the
37,000.
Not entirely.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Half of that.
14, 17.
Yeah.
About 20.
Gotcha. Okay.
About
so
20,000.
You need to get on the phone with them first, and we need to get on a program with them where we're going to clear them first, and in return, they're going to keep sending you supplies COD.
Yeah, I've been paying them. It was a large.
No, listen, I'm giving you a program. I'm not asking for the story now. I'm telling you what to do. Okay.
Okay.
Get on the phone with them and set up a program to pay $37,500 plus your new material needs going forward out of your $100,000. It's the first thing you do. The merchant people, tell them they're not getting paid, maybe ever, but they're certainly not getting paid right now. You're going to sit on the sidelines, and we're going to settle up later. If you want to sue me, sue me. But I don't have any money, and if you sue me, I'm going to file bankruptcy, and you're going to get nothing. So you need to just sit over there until I can get this thing cleaned up, and then I'm going to come pay you off. Okay? You have a conversation with them, but you give them no more money and no more access to your business. You go make $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year. You clean up your vendors first, and then you keep the cash flow running. You keep your books up to date, and then you call them. Then you save up $30,000, and you call the merchant people that you owe $55,000 to, and you settle with them for pennies on the dollar. Then you go pay mom and dad the next year.
Right.
You're out of debt. I just got you out of debt in 3 years.
Sounds good to me.
It's doable. What I just described is very doable. I've done it 1,000 times. Now, the trick is you got to believe it, and you got to be tough enough to run off these people that have been scaring the crap out of you. They've been running your life emotionally. They live in your head rent-free. Can you tell I've been there?
Yes, for sure.
It's no fun. And you feel like, they're saying you're not a good guy, and you're a good guy that made a mistake. You're not an evil person. You didn't set up a business to go screw somebody.
Right.
You're just a young guy that made some mistakes, and now you got to go clean up your mistakes. You can file bankruptcy if you want, dude, but you're still going to have to pay your parents, and you did all of it over $90,000 that I just settled for somewhere around $50,000. And you shouldn't file bankruptcy when you have the ability to make $120,000 a year. Not morally, but I mean, mechanically shouldn't file bankruptcy when you got the ability to make $120,000 a year and $50,000 cleans up your mess. Because you're going to pay the $37,000. You're going to pay the $37,000 worth of vendors because you got to keep them in your life. The other people you're going to settle for 50 cents on the dollar, and then you're going to call mom and dad and pay them as quick as you can, and never borrow money again from anyone, not even your parents. Have you learned your lesson?
Yes. Yeah.
You can do this, Garrett. You can really do this. I promise you can. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's the master class on when we get scared, man. We go to fight or flight. We stop thinking, and sometimes it just takes someone to sit down and say, "Hey, here's a plan.
Here's the forest. Here's the trees."
Yeah.
Don't
burn everything down.
I'm lost in the woods. We don't have to burn the forest.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just got to cut that 2 trees over there, and then we can get out.
And then, but you got to keep walking.
Yeah, just keep moving. And the good news about this guy is he's really smart because he quickly self-analyzed. Very unusual. Very unusual. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.